Ah, yes, you find me in the good old engine builder. So, yes, welcome back. And yeah, I took a little bit of time to get some stuff outside of YouTube sorted out real quick. And also, another thing is, yes, you saw the thumbnail and you know we're doing two engines. One that's pretty spicy that we're building currently, and the other one's also going to be a little bit spicy. So, this engine we're building is from a commenter as Hugo Cheung 8652. Sorry if I'm butchering the hell out of your name, I'm sorry. He asked, building a reliable race engine from the 80s, a 3-liter turbocharged 6-cylinder with no nitro and no VVTL, no VVT of any sort. So I said, yes, of course I can. So that's why the year is on 1985. And also another thing, real quick, we did not know a year later, well, Chernobyl happened. So yeah, I think it's a good year to be in. There was a quiet year per se. But anyways, lighter topic here. Slightly less radioactive. We are trucking right along in this engine because I'm kind of curious to see what this thing will make. Because he said he wants 600 horsepower out of it. I think we can make close to 1000 out of it. Just due to how this engine is set up. And besides, we need to have a reliability of about 15%. So yeah, there's that. So we have quite a ways to go. We are on... oh no, that's bad. Let's just quickly see what is breaking my engine. Okay, there we go. We are on 76.5% reliability, that's pretty damn good. And we're also almost making the number that he wants. I think this is going to be a wonderful engine to make it into a chassis, so thank you so much for that suggestion. And of course, as always, if you have an engine suggestion that you would love to see on the channel, or a vehicle suggestion, maybe a combination of both, then I'll do my best to see if I can make it happen. If you leave it in the comment section, of course. But anyway, over 600 horsepower now, I think we can push this engine up to around 800 to 900, that's what I'm thinking. Just how easy this thing is making power, and also we are not on nitromethane, we are actually on E85. Well, a variation of the E-fuels, I think it's E100 that we're on. So yeah, no, that's pretty good. And our engine is not even that stressed, we're at 76.1% reliability, that's freaking good for an engine that's making almost 800 horsepower. That means it will live a little bit before it, well, chucks a rod out the other side of the block, or it lifts the head. Because, yeah. And also, a pretty famous engine from this particular time frame was the 80s, 90s, was outside of the JZ and the RB, there was the 7M engine. It's actually one of Toyota's first dual overhead cam engines, JZ style engines, 6-cylinder engines, so to speak, excuse me. So, I think it's pretty cool. And also, I roughly modeled this after that one, but that one has a lot more finagling in the head, so to speak. So yeah, as you can see, we're making quite good power, and also now we're gonna make it live a little bit. It's more of a strutable engine, a race strutable engine. I think if we can accomplish that, it would be absolutely phenomenal. Also, all our other parts in the engine are starting to not like us very much. But it is fine. Let's see. That's pretty good. See, we have our nice graph of power that is not that broken. It looks pretty good. I think we can push it a little bit further, but I don't want to do it too much because I want to keep this thing with a reasonable power band. Because if your boost starts kicking in around 2,500 to 3,000 RPM, I think that is awesome. Because then you have a nice range to play with it. Because most cars these days, yeah, most turbos light pretty much as quickly as you start the engine. But yeah, anyway, getting back to this, I'm used to the diesel stuff, so yeah. Let's see. Can I get a little more horsepower out of it by making smaller changes to it and keeping my power band that I want to use? And also we're way up there, so I think I'm gonna leave it there. Look at that engine. It looks like a 7M engine with a single turbo, but we're gonna do 2 down rounds, one looking at the engine, one looking at the graph, so hopefully this thing sounds good. Holy cow, this thing sounds actually pretty damn good. So let's move on to this engine. So if it doesn't look familiar, it is actually a Buick Grand National engine. It was originally a 3.8 liter V6 with a turbocharger, and that thing was wild. So we're pretty much gonna build something like that, and as the comment goes, make a bigger version of the Grand National engine. It was a 3.6 liter V6 turbo, make it like a 4.4 liter V6, and also make it twin scroll turbocharger. Make it have a twin scroll turbocharger for that. But I think I like that particular suggestion because I think it's really awesome. But to have twin scroll, we're gonna have to switch to something that isn't well normal. So thank you for your suggestion, and as always, I love reading your guys' comments, and I like to see more suggestions down there. I love seeing suggestions, and I love doing them. So we're gonna do something that's a little bit different. We're gonna use compound turbochargers for this particular engine. Our low pressure side has the most grunt, so to speak, and top end is pretty much where our power is. The turbo at the bottom pretty much feeds the engine, and the other one, well, yeah. We're also doing a E100 engine here, just to make things easier on us. And also easier on the engine, because pump fuels, yeah, they don't like when you start pushing heavy on them. They don't like it. You can, but to me it's not worth, the juice ain't worth the squeeze, to be honest. So I think we have quite a wonderful engine on our hands here. We have a very stable power graph, and as always this thing's gonna have fluctuations and it's gonna be wild. I think we can get about 1600 horse out of this engine. I think that is possible, but only time will tell. Let's see. So our first problem is both sides of the compressors. So high pressure, low pressure side both have compressor issues. So let's just switch that back to twin scroll. This one leaving there. So I'm gonna mess with the small side first before I mess with the high pressure side. Well, excuse me, mess with the low pressure side instead of the high pressure side for now. And now I'm messing with both. So let's see. It's responding to power pretty good, meaning to all the changes I'm making is making power decently. But as you see, we're going up and up and up. You start seeing our power graph, so to speak, is becoming less and less. How can I put this? Our power comes in a lot later. That's what I'm trying to say. My head's all over the place this morning, I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, anyway. Let's see if I can't make a little more power. Okay, there we go. Let's see. That thing does look good with compound turbos. Maybe I'll do one in the future with 4 turbos in total. Maybe. We'll see. If there is a suggestion for that, I will do it. But yeah, for now, let's just leave it at that. So we're going to continue making our smaller side of the turbo, well, low pressure side of the turbo, even bigger. And also we're going to continue adding more boost, because I need more pressure in that engine, because 1500 horsepower sounds good. I wonder if it is actually possible to stroke the Grand National engine out to 4.4 or even 4.5. I wonder if that's possible, because that's a giant displacement. I wonder if you actually drop the drop the rod size, increase the bore size, if you can't do it that way. Or you do it the way that they do diesel engines, essentially longer rod, smaller bore. We leave the bore alone, but you put bigger rods in it. I think if that's possible, if the rod, let me put it this way, the big end of the rod and the small end of the rod, that distance isn't too much for that engine to be up to 4.4 liters. I think that can work. Maybe I'll get one in the future if I can find one. Then maybe we'll mess with it that way. I do think it is possible. So yeah, but that's future talk, and I'm very happy we've made my number happen. So let's see if we can get a little more out of it. I do think we have quite a bit more engine to go, so to speak. So I want to see how far this engine can go. Because I'm curious to, curious to see how far it will go. That's what I'm saying. Ooh, less fuel, more power. Good. Less timing. Okay, no, it does not like that. If we go a little bit up with timing, so we're almost making 1600 horsepower on a an engine design that uses pushrod heads. That's freaking nuts. That's 2 valve heads. So even if you bore them out and do all that trick stuff to it, you're still working with a cam and block engine. I think that is wonderful to see how much power it is. And it's also fascinating to see the flow difference between an engine that has cams at the top and the cam in the block. I think that is the amount of difference you can see is nuts. But also, I think, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, I think there are modern pushrod engines per se that have 4 valves per cylinder. I do think that exists. I do think so. I'm not too sure. I'll find out in a later video and I'll correct myself, or feel free to roast me in the comments because I'm sometimes a dumb bloke on the internet. Sometimes. Anyway, this thing is making 1800 horsepower. I'm curious to see how this thing is gonna respond, because to me it almost looks like it's gonna fire pretty quickly, meaning it's gonna get into boost real quick. Given that all the changes we've made, we are sitting pretty at 1900. So let's push for 2000. Let's see if we can. I think it's gonna be possible. This thing is quite a wild engine now. Look at the size of those turbochargers. Good golly. That's freaking crazy. You see a turbocharger that large, it's freaking nuts. 147 versus the other one is well over 150. That's nuts. There we go, 2000 horsepower. That's freaking awesome. So let's do 2 dyno runs. One look at this beautiful engine, one look at the graph. So let's see what this thing sounds like. I hope it's good. Damn, okay, I see you there, Mr. Buick man. Thank you so much for watching, and if you stayed to this part of the video, thank you first of all, and second of all, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, for if you don't want to miss anything else. But that's all for me for today, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.